Good morning, Gradient Women in Business. I hope you are having a fantastic and productive, what's the day? It's Tuesday. It is right at 11 o'clock. It looks like we've got a couple more people that are hopping on, so I'm going to give it another minute and then we will get started. Certainly thankful that y'all took time out of your day to join us.
And Becca, you'll monitor the chat. Thank you.
Yes, I've got chat. Q&A.
Excellent. Well, we will go ahead and get started. Again, welcome everybody. For those of you that just hopped on, certainly appreciate you taking time today to join us. For those of you that are on the call and were able to attend our Women in Business live event that we had, that was September? Was it September? Oh, time's just going so fast. I can't keep up. But anyway, one of the presentations that we had so much great feedback about was the Insights presentation that Darcy Matz provided to all of us. It was a really fun, really engaging. Rebecca and Darcy reached out to me and said, what if we would do a round two? And I said, absolutely. So with us today, we have Rebecca and Darcy, both with Allianz. Darcy is the Senior Director of Projects and Strategic Planning for FMO Distribution. I did have to turn my head and look at my other screen because, wow, that is a title, Darcy. So
I know what that means. So
I am going to turn it over to them. If you have any questions, certainly feel free to type them in the chat. Rebecca's going to monitor that for us, and we will kick it off. Darcy, thanks again so much for joining us.
Thank you, and so much fun. And thanks everyone for joining us. Hopefully, in the next 30 minutes, what you'll get out of this is just a deep breath. So something to enjoy, something to bring back to your firm. And I'm actually going to challenge myself. Hopefully I'm going to give you something to bring to your holidays when you're working with your family. So there you go. So we'll see how well I do on that respect. But welcome to those who actually had been part of round one in Minneapolis. And for those of you who weren't part of round one, I'm going to do a quick tutorial so that at least we're all up to speed on Insights Discovery. And Insights Discovery is a personality tool that people use, and the whole concept is, which is the same thing as Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, DISC, all of them, is if you can help determine someone's personality, you can actually help determine their behaviors. And if you can do that, there are different ways than tools that you have to be able to connect better with people. So really today is all about connection. We talked at length in Minneapolis just about what this may look like for your clients, what this may look like for your employees, and of course, what this looks like for yourself. But the question is, who do you need to make more connections with? And hopefully this will give you some insight into that. So with that, sorry, let's see. Insight Discovery has 4 different color energies that we actually is the foundation of what we're going to talk about. And this is why I love Insights Discovery, because it is so simple. I don't have to really know what letter you are. I don't have to know what primary you are with the wing of what you have. Insights Discovery is just very useful and very easy to understand. So Insights Discovery comes up with 4 color energies, and those 4 color energies help determine what primary personality you have. We always talk about their color energies, and not to be confused with your yellow, your red, your blue, your green. You actually have all 4 of those color energies going on at any given time. The question is, which one do you prefer, or which one do you intentionally and sometimes unintentionally show up as? So do you like to do it together? Do you like to do it harmoniously? Do you like to do it right? Or do you like to do it now? It's based on, if you look at your color wheel, it's based on whether you're extroverted or introverted, and or your thinking and your feeling. So we'll go through that again. 4 color energies. You're going to be able to identify yourself pretty easily in the next probably 1 minute. And hopefully then you'll be able to identify others in your life. So left-hand side of the wheel is our introverted people. That is sometimes is confused with they don't like people. That is not true. What I want you to think about the left-hand side of the wheel, these green and blue energies, is they need a pause. So when you ask them something right away, they're not going to blurt out the answer. It actually goes internal first before it goes external. And so they have this pause on the left side. So again, they still like people, but what they like first is to make sure that they actually have control over what they're going to say, what they're going to think, what they're going to feel. It always goes internal first. If you go to the right-hand side of the wheel, which is our red and yellow energies, those are our extroverteds. And again, it's not necessarily that they like people, it's they like to actually express themselves almost immediately before it goes inside. So that's why when you're working with, or if you're an extrovert yourself, you want to tell someone right away. And part of that is you want to process what you're thinking or feeling out loud. And then thinking and feeling. So we have our thinkers on the top end of the spectrum. So blue and red, yellow energies. And they think A, B, C, D. They're logical. It goes from A to Z, and they're very much linear in that way. And then if you go to the bottom half of the wheel, these are our feelers. So they always feel something first. That's how they make a decision. It goes actually through their heart first before they make that decision. So again, we have our extrovert, introvert, and we have our thinking, feeling, and that will determine where you are on the wheel. So we have, again, our fiery red energies, which would be our extroverted thinkers. We have our sunshine yellow, which is our extroverted feelers. We have our earth green, which are introverted feelers. And we have our blue energy, our cool blue, which are our introverted thinkers. And again, this is how they like to show up. So let's go to each of these and let's determine how to identify someone, and then actually what are some tools to move the relationship forward. And as I want you to think through that, there are ways in which we can identify other people, right? It's how do they speak? Do they speak to think? Do they think to speak? Right? So they think first. If you think of what we just talked about, our extroverts speak so they can process what is going on. They like to whiteboard. They like to have meetings. They like to really speak to think. That's their process. Or do they think to speak? So again, do they have that pause first before they speak? Are they formal or are they informal? You'll find that thinking type personalities are a little more formal, and the more feelers are more relaxed. So some ways for you to help identify what that is. So let's start with our fiery red energies. They're active, they're determined, they're driven. I laughed at our first time we met on this is red energy people sometimes scare me because they're usually very direct. They know what they want. They want you to catch on. They want you to catch on quickly. And then we always call it be brief, be bright, be gone. So when you have clients who are like this, they want you to be on time. They want an agenda. They want you to keep to the agenda. And then preferably you are done before the time that you stated. And they want to know exactly what they're going to do. And they talk and think, I would say, in bullet points. So if you're communicating with someone who is red energy, think bullet points, short, clear statements really help fiery red energy people keep things moving and keep connected to you. So be direct and to the point. Do not hesitate or waffle. Stick to the agenda. Speak and write in bullet points. Be brief, be bright, be gone. I can say that or not. And then there's this sense of urgency, right? So, yep, we just talked about it. Now go do it, right? They don't like a lot of those preliminary and post chit chats, like how is everybody doing? They'll do that. They know it needs to be done. but really what they want is for you to get right into it, right to the point, and here's the decisions we need to make today so that they have clarity. So think fiery red has clarity and to the point. Now, just because I said I would in the beginning, if you think through these family members, they want you to stick to whatever it is you decided you were going to do. They want you to stick to the time. They want you to stick to the time when it begins, stick to the time when it ends. They want that clarity, and of course, if it's a shorter time frame, sometimes they're happy about that. But again, they usually are the ones who have an opinion because they have to say it. So remember that with these extroverted people who are on the extroverted side, they can't keep it in, they have to let it out. So sometimes those are the people who are like, oh, here they go again. But fiery red energy usually has an opinion, but they're usually very good at delegating and keeping things moving. So we're going to still stick with the thinkers, right? So red energy was our extroverted thinker, outly direct. Blue energies are our introverted thinkers. So those are usually our analytics. Those are people who like to research a bunch of stuff. They like to tell you about their research. They don't like to be challenged on their research, but they also value independence and intellect because they want to know first. So when you're working with clients who are blue energy people, they want lots of documents. They are actually the people who are going to read the contracts. They are going to go out and research. They want an agenda, but they want it way ahead of time. Here's what we're going to talk about. Here's what you should be prepared for. And usually when they come in for a client meeting, they usually are prepared, whether they printed stuff and they have notes for you, or they're electronic and they have all these different attachments that they've put together. They will actually prepare for the meeting. So again, one of the things when you're working with blue energy people, you really have to be in the moment and really be ready for any of the questions that they may have. So they desire to know and understand. They like information. And they really do want to think things through before committing to action, which is why it's a benefit for clients to make sure that they do have something ahead of time to read, to respond to. That actually moves them on the decision-making path a lot quicker. So what do you do with our blue energy people? Oh. What do you do with your blue energy people? Bring things ahead of time, clear expectations, be prepared. They love data, so use data. And don't be flippant on accuracy. I always say blue energy people are the people who have a BS-o-meter. So if they think actually, if the percentage is 22% and you actually say it's like around 25%, so that's sunshine yellow math. Actually, I could probably say 30%. But they want it exact. So make sure that you're not expanding anything or even adding to stuff. They want to make sure that whatever you say is actually exact and precise. And they want you to be objective, and they want things in writing. And do not interrupt. And here's why this is important for anyone on the left-hand side, is it takes them time to think, then talk, think, then talk. Whereas red energy people can do a great stream of unconscious chit-chatting without stopping. Blue energy people want to review something, want to go back to their notes, so they will actually take pauses. So allow them to do that and ask questions. So we talked about our thinkers, right? Our extroverted thinker, who's our red energy, and our introverted thinker, who's our blue energy. And now we're to our yellow energy people. And those are the people that want people to join them. They have lots of ideas. They're very persuasive. They want to be involved in things. They radiate enthusiasm. And those are usually, I always say sometimes those are the crazy people in your life, where they come in and they make a whirlwind, and they come late and they stay late, and they were supposed to bring the veggie tray, but they maybe forgot the veggie tray, but they brought this amazing dessert. And so they're always keeping you on your toes. And they like people to tell them that too. Like, oh, you're always so fun. You always keep us on your toes. But if you work with clients, again, they're probably not going to be at all like your blue energy people who read everything ahead of time. They're going to have to be reminded probably of the appointment. And then your job will be to keep things upbeat and positive, but also keep them on track. So what to do with Sunshine Yellow? You don't impose a routine, but they enjoy brainstorming. So they love the question, what if? What if we did this? Or if we did this, what would happen? Like if you couldn't do X, Y, and Z, how would you feel about that? Again, use feeling words. Or if we could figure out a way in your financial plan to make this happen, what would you feel about that? And that brings them along the journey of dreaming, envisioning. It brings energy to the table. And they don't love all the details. Usually if they work with you, they usually love you. They usually know you are the expert. And then they prefer a conversation over an email. Emails to them get tedious. So if you send them this long email, they are not going to read the entire email, just know that. So if you want to send snippets, that's fine, but just give them the gist and bold what it is you are looking for. So finally, we get to our earth green energy people, and the earth green energy are the people are very accommodating. They will always say yes, even if inside they want to say no, they will always say yes. And they love, love, love to help people. And so what you'll find with the feelers actually, earth green and sunshine yellow, actually have a wider range of ways in which they fit into the wheel. And so earth green energy people, if they tend to be in between an introvert and an extrovert, you'll have these high helper people, these people who just want to help at any cost. If you have an earth green that is more towards our introvert or thinking too, they have a little bit of thinking, those are your loyal people. But earth green energies, they want to make sure it's a democracy. They want to make sure everything is fair. They want people to have a seat at the table, even if that means it takes longer to get to action or a decision. Earth green people also want to get things right. So if you think of blue energy people ask a lot of questions because they want accuracy. But yet green energy people just want to make sure that they are pleasing people. So again, they will be, I will use this as an example. My husband is earth green energy. And I will tell you, and yes, I am very, very lucky. He usually cooks most of our meals, but every night after we sit down to eat, he will ask about 3 to 5 times, how is everything? Is the temperature of the meat okay? What did I think about the new dish he made? And so he's always making sure that things are going well and that I'm enjoying what he has done. So green energy people need that affirmation because they're afraid actually that they got it wrong. So what do you need to do with earth green energies? They don't like to make quick decisions. They like to have the small talk ahead of time. They do like you to remember things about their family. They want you to say, hey, you know what, last time we were in, you were gonna have a new grandbaby. Can we see pictures? Oh my gosh, how's the other one doing? They want you to remember all of those things. They also want to be needed, and they like people to reaffirm that in them. And they also want to ask questions to clarify. So the other thing is, do not push them to answer first. So if you're having a conversation, what do you think about that? Give them time to think through it, right? And give them time in the meeting to be able to go ahead and do that. So give them that time and that supportive way in which that they have it. So those are your earth green energy. And again, when you come into a meeting, they're usually the people who like a cup of coffee, or they like you to remember what they drink. To them, that is just a sign of that you see them and that you care for them. So as we look at our color energy lists, right, we have our fiery red, our sunshine yellow, our earth green, and our cool blue. Again, we are all 4 of these, and at any given time, any of you will, even though you have a primary, will fluctuate if you need to be. I always say I'm sunshine yellow. I actually can be cool blue. I need a cup of coffee and I need to get into my office space and I need some time. But I can do all of these. You can do all of these. It's just a matter of preference and what you prefer to do. So with that, I'm going to actually see, Becca, is there any questions out there at this time, or if anyone would like to ask a question before I go on?
I haven't seen any questions come through the chat yet. Gretchen, I did send a chat saying, feel free to type in comments or questions, and I think it only went to organizers and panelists. I don't know if I'm allowed to communicate with all the attendees, but also feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like to make any comments or ask Darcy a question.
Yeah, and I'd be curious if anyone out there came to the Minneapolis one, and if they have a story on how they saw the personality profile play out.
I think everybody should be able to see the question panel and type in if they have any questions.
And Gretchen, there's the little icon with the question ... is blinking. Does that mean it's just on, or it is someone's typing?
Could mean that someone's typing.
All right, I'll let you, Becca, chime in, and I have a couple more closing comments here. So if anyone has anything that they want to add to it, they certainly can. One of the things that I think people are challenged by is how to work with opposite types. So normally, if people are like you, and I was just thinking about this on my way in, is, I'm thinking of your children. I was thinking of my children, thinking of, where they sit on the wheel, and how my daughter and I are both sunshine yellow, so we both expect everybody in the room to come with a little bit of energy and excitement, and my sons are a little more subdued, so they get a little annoyed sometimes by mom wanting everyone to have energy and come to the table. But I think of all the different people who are in your lives, but the hardest ones usually are the ones that are working with the opposite type. So if you are earth green and you're accommodating and caring and a great listener, usually fiery reds are ones that shut earth green energies down. But what I would actually encourage green energy people to do is instead of shutting down and moving back. So if you see your client doing that, and you're on the wheel here and you have an earth green client, or you're earth green yourself, make sure that there is space given for an earth green person to actually share. And I shared this in Minneapolis, but you may have to ask an earth green person 2 to 3 times to share before they will actually share. So if you're red energy, usually we go, yep, I asked already, you're done. Why aren't you, I already asked you, you didn't have an opinion. So make sure earth green energy people have that space to be seen, to be heard, and to be asked. The opposite is true earth green energy when you're working with fiery energy people. When you go in and you work with fiery energy person, they love when you're smile, they love your caring. The only thing they would ask is get to the point and then carry on, because you're actually very good at working with red energy when you see that. And then the opposite is when you work with sunshine yellow and cool blue. Again, cool blue knows when a sunshine yellow is trying to exaggerate to get someone on board, to be persuasive. So sunshine yellow has to be careful about also bringing them facts. So with that, if there is no further questions, Becca?
Not seeing any questions in the chat.
Okay, great. Well, Becca and I want to thank you for jumping on. We love doing value adds. That's one of Becca's strong suits as a Allianz wholesaler. She's always looking for different ways to engage with advisors and their clients. And so if there's anything you need, obviously you can reach out to Becca. She is a one-stop shop for you. But I just want to say thank you for today. And hopefully this just gave you a big breath to learn something new, but also just to reset yourself into what is probably a very, very busy time. So thank you all very much.
Darcy, that was great. So many good reminders brought back. I think that I shared this when we were in Minnesota, but I work with an advisor that I think it's even before his first appointment. So before his very first sit down fact and feeling prospect appointment, he uses a system similar to this. It's not Insights Discovery, but DISC, one of the other ones that are available. And he asks his prospect to complete it. And he said, you've probably never had a financial advisor ask you to do something like this, but it helps me know how best to deliver information to you, so that I'm sure I'm giving it to you in a way that you're going to consume it and be comfortable and be able to ask whatever questions you need to ask in the way you need to ask them. And that serves a couple of purposes. Obviously it lets him get some insight into what color they are, so he can, kind of cater his presentation, cater his cadence, his, interactions with them based on their color. But it also, he said, it really does open up that first appointment in such a way that he's never had. They come in with questions about the assessment that they took, and I'm surprised that I'm this, and the husband and wife are talking about, I knew he was that color, or I knew she was that color. So it really does add a very interesting dynamic to the whole relationship that he feels like he might not otherwise have the advantage of seeing if it weren't for starting that relationship off with doing something like this assessment. So he speaks volumes about it. And again, like Darcy mentioned, there are a lot of different types of assessments out there. If it's something that you've given some thought to before, I might encourage you to pull the trigger. Let's get something moving. And I would certainly love to hear your feedback if you incorporate it into your consumer engagements and appointments as well.
Kristen, I just want to say, I thought what you just said was just really super impactful on delivering it to the client in the way in which they would best consume the communication. And I think that's not, it doesn't make you feel like, oh, he's trying to get into my head or do something else. I think that's just a really great way to set it up for the client. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. The way he positioned it and the reason he was asking for the information was, not intrusive. It wasn't threatening. And to my knowledge, he'd never had anybody say, no, I'm not going to do that for you. So I think it was very well received from the consumer side as well. So again, Darcy, Rebecca, thank you guys so much for bringing us this reminder information, getting it in front of us. As we, kind of work to close out 2025, I want to thank all of the women that I'm fortunate enough to surround myself with every day inside the walls at Gradient, as well as outside with our carrier partners, with the advisors that we're fortunate enough to work with each and every day. Certainly don't hesitate to reach out if you have some thoughts on what you would like to see at our live events or on our webinars moving forward. We want to deliver to you what you want to hear most about. So certainly keep that information coming to us. And I will just close out today by saying, whatever color you are on the wheel, get out there and own it. You be your brightest red, you be your shiniest yellow, you be your boldest blue or your gregarious green. And is it gregarious? Yeah, I can use that adjective, can I? Just get out there and own it, and have a great day. We'll see you again real soon.